Ekamaksharam Hrudi Nirantaram Bhasate Swayam Likyate Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Kevalam Namatram Yaham Sakshat Atmarupe Hrudi Vishamanasa Swam Chimvata Vajjata Anuchalanaro Atmanishto Deham Mrunmayam Jadatmakam Aham Buddhirnatasyastyato Naham Tattvaprabhavashukti Samai Siddhatma Saddha Oham Bhavayuta Kuto Vadatiye Drishtatmanishtatmana Soham Sputitaya Arunachala Shiva Purno Vibhavati Swayam Soham Sputitaya Arunachala Shiva Purno Vibhavati Swayam. Namo Ramana. In this Thursday satsang from Ramanacentre Center for Learning, it has been our practice to read two selected verses from Kuruvachika Kovai, the work by Muruganar Swamigal. Each verse reading is followed by a short meditation on its meaning, and that is followed by the practice of Atma Vicharam for about 15 minutes. After these two segments of verse reading, meditation on meaning, and self-enquiry are completed, there will be summing up remarks by Venkatesh Deshpande ji, and that will be followed by the offering of Sri Ramana Stotram. The online chanting will be by Vaibhav ji and Pratnama, and the floral offerings today shall be by Manjunath ji from right here. The rest of us can inquire as to who is observing, who is listening, and pay attention to the one who is unchangingly present within. We begin the satsang by going to verse number 404, selected randomly for us by Revatima. Verse number 404, we find in the segment Investigation into Truth. This is the first segment in the major three segments of the book. The second being Meditation on the Truth, and the last being Anubhava or Experience of the Truth. Verse number 404, we find in Investigation into Truth, the subsegment number 69, is Atma Vichara. Subsegment is Atma Vichara, a description of the happiness of Upashanta, intense peace. A description of the happiness of Upashanta, intense peace, that is verse number 404. Through the clear knowledge of the reality, the target that is attained by the enquiry, who is the ignorant I, through the clear knowledge of the reality, the target that is attained by the enquiry, who is the ignorant I, who experiences misery in profusion, the sun of jnana shines, causing the disappearance of darkness of delusion. The consequent welling up of mauna is alone the bliss of peace. This is the happiness of Upashanta, intense peace. Through the clear knowledge of reality, the target that is attained by the enquiry, who is the ignorant I, who experiences misery in profusion, the sun of jnana shines, causing the disappearance of the darkness of delusion. The consequent welling up of mauna is alone the bliss of peace. In Atmavicharam, when the ego subsides, ahaminashabaji aham taya spurati hrutsvayam paramapurnasat. Here, that process of the rising of the paramapurnasat is described as the intense peace, the intense bliss that is welling up from within. How misery is only for the ignorant ego. So far as the separate I is there can be laya or there can be misery. The laya too has to be treated as misery. Laya is acceptable circumstances, acceptable emotions that we have. We feel things are all right. There too, there is temporary lull or laya, but the real happiness arises, wells up, when the ignorance is completely eliminated. How is that process beautifully described here? We are actually eliminating the ajnana through the removal of the I thought and the other thought. Whenever the other thought arises, implicitly the ignorant ego has arisen. So for whom is this? Who am I? The ego is destroyed. That is called as removal of delusion, removal of ignorance. Now, that removal of ignorance, what happens is, though it is a subtle affair, from that very place, the welling up of the Ishvara, the welling up of the I happens. The fountainhead of the spring of uncaused happiness, the bliss, it arises from within. The forerunner being removal of delusion. That welling up of happiness is the happiness of Upashanta or intense peace. Though the process appears to be removing the subtle, this Sanjeevani, this healing power the ultimate healing power of the self, the I, it wells up from within. The consequent welling up of Mauna is alone the bliss of peace. That Ananda is clearly different from the Ananda or the joys or the pleasures we have experienced. And these pleasures that we experience in the world definitely have a cause, and therefore phalam ashashvata. The happiness experience, the pleasure experience is ashashvata phalam. But then with the destruction of the mind, with the destruction of the fabric of mind, when the Purna Vastu wells up from within, it is a costless bliss. It is the infinite bliss. You cannot place your finger on due to what it is coming. Is it due to Guru Kripa? Is it due to your effort? Nothing can be told of that. If you tell to Bhagavan it is because of you, then he will say, no, no, you have to put in the effort. If you feel that you have to put in the effort, then Bhagavan would have replied in many times in talks, no, no, it is the Guru Kripa that is the key. Both are required. Therefore, there is no particular cause you can put to this bliss, the Upashanta, but it is clearly detectable, and you will start chasing it. Once you experience it, there will be chasing after that. That will be natural, and that's what happens in the Guru Sannidhi or in Atmavachara sessions like this. That when there is a breakthrough like that and the Upashanta rises up, then the Jiva will not leave. It will start chasing, and definitely it will not stop till the abidance in that purity, in that absolute Mauna happens. That's why the Guru, someone had come from abroad, and in Guru Sannidhi, the happiness was experienced very easily and very nicely. But we were discussing how that would definitely deepen the experience, and that experience will be remembered. And wherever we are, the Atma-vichara will take us to the new depth and further. That is the beauty of these satsangs and the beauty of Guru Sannidhi, that it can open up that mauna, the intense bliss, and then there is no there is no other way. The jiva, having tasted that its own demise is the real happiness, it will start running after that without any relent. So let us sit in sadhana, as the verse says, towards the reality. All those words are used with reference to our usage of words. In reality, there is no sadhana, there is no movement towards reality. But then in our parlance, in the words of sadhana, let us move towards reality, and that upashanta, the bliss of intense peace, with the practice of Atma Ucharam for the next 15 minutes. Ujjwalji, you can set up the time for us.
Sir, you want me to set the time?
Yeah, it's all right. Okay.
Ujjwal is setting the time, uncle.
Okay.
Thank you.
Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya.
Namo Ramana. We continue the satsang by taking the next verse selected for us. Verse number 870. 870. We find this in the second segment, meditation on the truth, the greatness of seeing. The greatness of seeing. 870. Know that the truth of the experience. Know that the truth of the experience I am perceiving the world is that both the world that is perceived as an object and the perceiver who sees it appear within me, the Atma Swarupa, the true undivided space of consciousness, the flawless true light. Know that the truth of the experience I am perceiving the world is that both the world that is perceived as an object and the perceiver who sees it appear within me, the Atma Swarupa, the true undivided space of consciousness, the flawless true light. There is a comma. Those who are having it, you can add it there. Who sees it, comma, appear within me. I'll read that again. Know that the truth of the experience I am perceiving the world is that both the world that is perceived as an object and the perceiver who sees it, comma, appear within me, the Atma Swarupa, the true undivided space of consciousness, the flawless true light. So the division of consciousness as seer and seen is taken up. The seen taken in its wide perspective of the whole world. Sometimes Vedanta will say the pot. The pot is seen by the eye is the drik, the pot is the seen. The pot represents the whole world. So when Ridrishya Viveka says pot is the seen, we should replace that immediately with the cosmos is the seen. Here this beautiful verse points out that both the perceived world and the one who is perceiving it, the subject and the object, are present in the I, are present in the Atma Swarupa, the undivided consciousness, undivided space of consciousness, the flawless true light. You are the flawless true light, and inside you only appears the division as seer and seen. So what are we to do? Whenever the object seen is there, then immediately we should understand relative seer as arisen. Implicitly ego as arisen. Whenever you see something apart from you, then there is the ego that has arisen. So immediately one has to inquire, who is seeing this other, this world? The answer will be, it is me. Who am I? Even in sadhana, the bhava bhala is used to turn the attention inward from the seer-seen duality on to the seer or the Swarupa within the seer. Therefore, who are we in reality? We are that Swarupa. Sadagattile duvidam, sadhiyattil adduvidam, ஓதுகின்ற வாதமதும் உண்மையல்ல. Bhagavan says in Ulladu 40, that in the sadhana avastha, that the Dvaita was true. And when the Siddhate of Atmaswarupa arose, then Advitiya Satya became true. That is not true. Even when you are seeking, the Dasama is the Dasama only. The 10th man is the 10th man. Therefore, Atmaswarupa is the only reality, not only your reality, it is the reality. So whenever see or seen Vedam is there, it can be resolved by holding the seer and understanding that our real Swarupa is Atmaswarupa. See, the world, the problem is that for us who are intellect based discriminatory entities, we have so far attained quietness by doing the right things, by doing that which is right, taking that forth, that what is dharma, and that gives some quietness. That gives some quietness indeed. But then that is always challengeable by the other, because dharma automatically implies the adharma, good automatically implies the bad. Therefore, the intellect always opens up the possibility of falling into dukkha or falling into sukha. When are we going to cross this? We are going to cross this only by holding the Atmaswarupa. When you hold the Atmaswarupa, you can really directly experience. See, whenever you are in doubt whether I took the action rightly or wrongly, immediately hold the doubter. For whom is this doubt? You will find a peace beyond the mere satisfaction of having a good world, having a right world. Because right world, good world implies the wrong world also being there. That is where we can see by sadhana that Swarupa Jnana is going to stand alone, is without the division as subject and object. That's why it is undivided space of consciousness. It is the flawless true light. And that is where we are going in sadhana for the next 15 minutes in Atma Ucharam. Ujjulji, we can set up the time.
Yes, uncle.
Okay.
Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya.
I request Venkatesh Deshpande ji to give us the summing up remarks. Namo Ramana sir.
Namo Ramana. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyanamoolam Gurur Murti Pujamulam Guru Padam Mantramulam Vakyam Mokshamulam Guru Kripaha Mokshamulam Guru Kripaha. Namo Ramana. If we look at our lives, let us see whether our life is fragmented or whether it's whole and complete. Let's try and understand this aspect of our life. Now, if you see what's spoken about in these verses was about peace. Peace. Is our life peace or in pieces? Is something that we need to think about. And let's look at for example, let's look at a jigsaw. Many of us have played jigsaw when we were young. And even now also many of us play jigsaw. It's like a puzzle. So when you buy a jigsaw, what happens? When you buy a jigsaw, there is a picture on top. And then there is this jigsaw puzzle where all the pieces are all together. Now, the pieces are perfectly placed. Everything is perfect. The picture is perfect in the jigsaw pieces. And on the board, on the box, the picture also is perfect. But it's like that. Bhagavan saying, if somebody says Tattvamasi, you are that, it's like that. It says, you are perfect. You are that. But then what happens? No, 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 no. What we do is we take the jigsaw in and break up the jigsaw puzzle. We break it into pieces. We break it into pieces, and then whole life, what do? We try to put these pieces together. Slowly, slowly, we put together. But one thing that's very important in the jigsaw puzzle, we know that all those pieces, when they are put together, you will get that screen. You will get that. That means that wholeness will be experienced when that all the jigsaws are put together. It's like what Bhagavan is trying to tell us here also. If you go on doing self-enquiry, you will get your pieces will become peace. But no, we want to do something. We want, instead of being, we want to do. So whole life actually goes in putting these pieces of the jigsaw together. And what happens? When we go on, we try to look at the squares, corners, we look at the rounds and start putting the colors together and putting the pictures together. And finally, what happens? Every time we put one piece of the jigsaw, there is a sense of happiness. Wow, I have done it. And that goes on. The life is like that. If you see, every time we are whole and complete. But what happens? We've forgotten that. But we have got all the pieces. Bhagavan says it does not, you don't have to go to, when you have all the pieces of the jigsaw, you just have to put it together. It's not that Bhagavan has kept two pieces hiding somewhere. That, oh, no, 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 you put out of this 1,000 pieces jigsaw, 998 only are with you, two are somewhere else. No, Bhagavan has given you each one of us, all the 1,000 pieces. And he says, put them together. Okay. So what happens? Every time you put a piece of that jigsaw together, what happens? You feel a sense of happiness. You feel a sense of wholeness. initially it is peace, but then it becomes pieces. And then again we are trying to find the piece by putting the pieces of the jigsaw together. Then what happens? As we go on putting the pieces together, then that when the last piece is put, what do you feel? You feel, wow, fantastic. You will compare that picture which is there on the box to the picture that you put together, and then what happens? You think, oh, there is nothing left. There are no more pieces I have to look for. There are no more pieces in the jigsaw left, and this is whole and complete. So exactly, life is exactly the same thing. That we are whole and complete, that we are whole and complete, but what happens is that we put our life into these many pieces, and then the whole life you're trying to put these pieces together. Sometimes you can put the pieces together in one lifetime, sometimes it takes many lifetimes to put them together. So once you put together, then you realize, oh, I was always that the picture which was always there, and I knew that I got everything. If I do self inquiry, I'm able to realize who am I. The only thing is, I put this this journey was only to put these pieces together, and once the pieces are put together, we will be in the original state that we've always been, and that's this whole game of life. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Namo Ramana.
Namo Ramana. May I request Vaibhavji and Pratnama to do the chanting.
नमो रमण भारद्वाज विश्वनाथ विरचितं श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तरशतनामावलिः अपार सच्चित् सुखवारिराशे यस्योर्विमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि ॐ महासेन महोंसेन जाताय नमः ॐ श्रीरमणाय नमः ॐ गुरवे नमः ॐ अखण्डसंविदाकाराय नमः ॐ महौजसे नमः ॐ कारणोद्भवाय नमः ॐ जगद्धितावताराय नमः ॐ श्रीभूमिनाथस्थलोस्थिताय नमः ॐ पराशरकुलोत्तंसाय नमः ॐ सुन्दरार्यतपःफलाय नमः ॐ कमनीयसुचारित्राय नमः ॐ सहायाम्बा सहायवते नमः ॐ शोणाचलमहोलीनमानसाय नमः ॐ स्वर्णहस्तकाय नमः ॐ श्रीमद्द्वादशान्तमहास्थले लब्धविद्योदयाय नमः ॐ महाशक्तिनिपातेन प्रबुद्धाय नमः ॐ परमार्थविदे नमः ॐ तीव्राय नमः ॐ पितृपदान्वेषिणे नमः ॐ इन्दुमौलिना पितृमते नमः ॐ पितुरादेशतः शोणशैलं प्राप्ताय नमः ॐ तपोमयाय नमः ॐ उदासीनाय नमः ॐ महायोगिने नमः ॐ महोत्साहाय नमः ॐ कुशाग्रवे नमः ॐ शान्तसङ्कल्पसंरम्भाय नमः ॐ सुसन्दृशे नमः ॐ सवित्रे नमः ॐ स्थिराय नमः ॐ तपक्षपितसर्वाङ्गाय नमः ॐ फुल्लाम्बुजविलोचनाय नमः ॐ चन्द्रिकासितहासश्रीमण्डिताननमण्डलाय नमः ॐ च्यूतवाट्यां समासीनाय नमः ॐ चूणिताखिलविभ्रमाय नमः ॐ वेदवेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञाय नमः ॐ चिन्मुद्रिणे नमः ॐ त्रिगुणातिगाय नमः ॐ विरूपाक्षगुहावासाय नमः ॐ विराजदचलाकृतये नमः ॐ उद्दिक्तनयनाय नमः ॐ ललिताचलताण्डवाय नमः। ॐ गम्भीराय नमः। ॐ परमाचार्याय नमः। ॐ सुप्रसन्नाय नमः। ॐ अभयप्रदाय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणास्य निभाय नमः। ॐ धीराय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणाभिमुखाय नमः। ॐ स्वराजे नमः। ॐ महर्षये नमः। ॐ भगवते नमः। ॐ ईड्याय नमः। ॐ भूमविद्याविशारदाय नमः। ॐ विमलाय नमः। ॐ दीर्घदर्शिने नमः। ॐ आप्ताय नमः। ॐ ऋजुमार्गप्रदर्शकाय नमः। ॐ समदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्यदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्याय नमः। ॐ प्रशान्ताय नमः। ॐ अमितविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ सुकुमाराय नमः। ॐ सदानन्दाय नमः। ॐ मृदुभाषिणे नमः। ॐ दयार्णवाय नमः। ॐ श्रीशोणाचलहृद्बोधस्कन्दाश्रमनिकेतनाय नमः। ॐ सद्दर्शनोपदेष्ट्रे नमः। ॐ सद्भक्तवृन्दपरिवृताय नमः। ॐ गणेशमुनिभृङ्गेन सेविताङ्घ्रिसरोरुहाय नमः। ॐ गीतोपदेशसारादिग्रन्थसञ्चिन्नसंशयाय नमः। ॐ वर्णाश्रममतातीताय नमः। ॐ रसज्ञाय नमः। ॐ सौम्याय नमः। ॐ आत्मवते नमः। ॐ सर्वावनिमतस्थानाम् आराध्याय नमः। ॐ सर्वसद्गुणिने नमः। ॐ आत्मारामाय नमः। ॐ महाभागाय नमः। ॐ मातृमुक्तिविधायकाय नमः। ॐ विनताय नमः। ॐ विनुताय नमः। ॐ विप्राय नमः। ॐ मुनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ पावकोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ दर्शनागतसंहारिणे नमः। ॐ मौनेन स्वात्मबोधकाय नमः। ॐ ऋचान्तिकरसान्निध्याय नमः। ॐ स्मरणाद्बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ॐ अन्तस्तिमिरचण्डांशवे नमः। ॐ संसारार्णवतारकाय नमः। ॐ शोणादृशस्तुतिद्रष्टे नमः। ॐ हार्दविद्याप्रकाशकाय नमः। ॐ अविच्युतनिजप्रज्ञाय नमः। ॐ नैसर्गिकमहातपसे नमः। ॐ कमण्डलुधराय नमः। ॐ शुभकौपीनवसनाय नमः। ॐ गुहाय नमः। ॐ दण्डपाणये नमः। ॐ कृपापूर्णाय नमः। ॐ भवरोगविषग्वराय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दाय नमः। ॐ देवतमाय नमः। ॐ अमर्त्याय नमः। ॐ सेनान्ये नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ श्रीरमणभगवते नमः। श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तरशतनामपूजां समर्पयामि। यत्स्थानोररुणाचलस्य पदयोः स्मृत्याजलिं प्राप्यत देव्यानुग्रहसुप्रवाहविवशस्तादात्म्यभावं गतः विनिष्टस्वगभीरनित्यतपसा लोकान् पुनासेकराट् तस्मै श्रीरमणाय ते नम इदं लोकोत्तरज्योतिषे। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय।
मुख सकल जीवहित सम्मुख ब्रह्म संकिये। नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावरण नमो महर्षि। नमो महर्षि सदा तुष्ट सदा हृष्ट सदा शिवानंद पुष्ट परम महर्षि। ब्रह्मनिष्ठ समदर्शि नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावरण नमो महर्षि। ನಮೋ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನವದೊಂದು ಕಾಡು, ನೀನರಿತಿಹೆ ಅದರ ಜಾಡು, ಹಿತವನರಿತು ನೀಡುತ್ತೆಮ್ಮ ಕೊರೆಯ ತಣಿಸಲೈ. ಬೇಡಲೆಂದು ಬಂದ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿಯೇ ತಣಿವೆವಯ್ಯ ಮೋಡಿಕಾರನೇ, ಹಿತವ ನುಡಿದು ಪೊರೆ ನಮ್ಮನು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಂಗಿಯೇ. ನಮೋ 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 ರಮಣ ಸದಾಶಿವ ಪ್ರಭಾವರಣ, ನಮೋ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ ನಮೋ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ. बोलो भगवान श्री रमण महर्षि की
ಜೈ.
ನಮೋ ರಮಣ ಅಕ್ಕ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮೋ ರಮಣ.
ನಮೋ ರಮಣ.